All right, let's hop right into this thing, man. It's a short week, but it's more importantly a bounce back week. And what better way to do that than by talking about our 5-star matchups that are ultimately going to help the Steelers get that dub on Thursday. So, first matchup we got to talk about, and this is a no-brainer right here, Nick Chubb versus Myles Jack. Now, when you talk about Nick Chubb, it's not just Nick Chubb, it's the running game as a whole, but obviously he is the feature guy. He is the guy that makes this offense go. Coming off of another very impressive performance, 3 touchdowns on the ground, about a $115 total offense. The guy can do it all. You know, he can pass block, he can run, he can receive out the backfield, contact, balance, vision, burst, everything you want a running back. Nick Chubb has been that, and he continues to be that this season, along with Kevin Stefanski and that offense continuing to be intentional and just running their offense through him. But on the flip side, when we talk about Myles Jack has been extremely productive for us. The ability to stop the run, his sideline-to-sideline ability, and just his overall leadership. To me, this is a matchup that I cannot wait to watch because it is literally good on good. And as a player, that's what you're looking for, man. As a fan, you should be chomping at the bit to see, can Myles Jack be our guy that matches Nick Chubb, man, play for play, man, because it's going to be interesting, but we're going to need that from Myles because when you look at what Nick Chubb has been able to do, averaging 5 yards per carry, I mean, he keeps that offense on schedule. We know that they're having some issues in terms of not having the quarterback that they thought they would have at the earlier portion of the season, but either way, you have to make this team one-dimensional. Nick Chubb has been doing an excellent job of not allowing them to become that, but it's going to be on Myles Jack and company to make sure that we smash that run. Because he also has a number 2 guy that comes in by the name of Kareem Hunt. Yeah, he's going to have his hands full. So Myles Jack, man, it's on you, baby. But I can't wait to watch this matchup, man. So that's why we had to start off with that one. Now, the number 2 matchup. Well, we just going to flip it, baby. I got to talk about J.O.K. Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah versus the homie Najee Harris. Now, J.O.K., Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. I'm going to refer to him as JOK going forward. I'm not going to keep saying that long name, even though I do like his name. But this dude, man, ultra productive player. Should have been a first-round draft pick. We know this. But when you talk about watching him on tape, man, he flies around sideline to sideline, has a natural ability to find the ball. He's really excellent in coverage. And even though he is slightly, he has a smaller frame, it does not make him shy away from contact in the running game. He is willing to run up there and, you know, put all 221 pounds into somebody. I don't think he's 221 pounds personally. But either way, he does have that ability. And the thing that I do continue to like about him is just, like I said, that fearlessness, man. The ability to see ball and go get that ball. Make plays that most of the time linebackers aren't traditionally making. But on the flip side, we got to talk Najee Harris. Now, Najee is coming off of a game where he was criticized. And partially it was, justified because, yeah, his vision wasn't the best these first 2 games. And part of that is just him needing more reps, him needing more volume. But what better way to get more reps and more volume than on a Thursday night game, AFC North football on the road versus the Cleveland Brownies? Come on, baby. You know what time it is. And this is the guy that has to be the answer. Najee, when he is at his best, he is getting 20-plus touches. He is wearing down on defenses. He's making defenses not want to hit him. Well, when we're talking about Najee versus JOK, JOK is a productive and highly efficient player and tackler, but at the same time, he is a small guy. And this is where you talk about Najee just wearing on him quarter after quarter, play after play. This has to be the one for us, man. And I do think that Najee will respond in a positive way because of some of the things that, he's been criticized for just in terms of his running style this season. I expect him to be fired up for this one, man. But more importantly, man, I need him to win this matchup consistently, man. So that's why I had to have that as number 2. Now, the number 3 matchup we're going to talk about, I couldn't talk Browns versus Steelers and not talk about Myles Garrett because everybody wants him to be TJ Watt. But unfortunately, he's not TJ Watt. Hello. But he is going to be facing Dan Moore. He'll get a sprinkle of jukes because he does play both sides. But more so than not, he will be facing Dan Moore. And this is one of those ones where the history of the matchup for Dan Moore, everything is in his favor. He's been able to keep Myles Garrett at bay at times. Now, we know the other part of that was how fast we were getting rid of the ball. Combination of the two. But this is one of those ones where when we're talking about Dan Moore, same conversation as a year ago. You have to make this competitive. You cannot allow Myles Garrett to take over this game and be a game wrecker. The guys that Dan Moore has struggled with have been speed rushers. Myles Garrett is a big, powerful man. Explosive, yes. But that speed rush is not going to have, to me, I don't think it's the same level of speed that Dan Moore is accustomed to struggling with. I think that Dan Moore handles bigger bodied, long rushers like Myles Garrett a lot easier than he would handle a smaller guy that has just that lightning quick get off and able to get off his stance and stuff like that, and have Dan Moore feeling just hurried. So this is one of those ones where, hey man, when we check the tape, the previous two matchups, man, Dan Moore has done more than enough to give us opportunity to win. We just need to keep doing that on Thursday, man. But this is definitely one of those ones that we got to keep our eyes on, man, because obviously we know Myles Garrett is, he's chomping at the bit, man. He has plenty of motivation just between the Steelers and Browns, but more importantly, man, he has Defensive Player of the Year aspirations as well. So we know what that takes, because we actually have one of those guys that won one of them things. But shout out to my man Dan Moore, man. But I'm going to need this one from him. Yes, I am. Now, the fourth matchup we got to talk about. I know some people going to be like, not this one. No. But yes, we want this one. And I'm talking Amari Cooper versus Ahkello Witherspoon. Now, Amari Cooper, man, as good as advertised. We know this, the former Cowboy. Coming off of a really, really good game against the Jets last weekend, man. I think it was 9 catches, 101 yards, and a touchdown. But when you're watching Amari Cooper, man, he's silky smooth, can run every route in the route tree, soft hands, man, in terms of catching that ball, and just a true pros pro, man. He's one of those guys. But at the same time, Ahkello, we know we are very high on him, and we were high on him for multiple reasons. Now, we know he's coming off of a game where he struggled just in terms of a 50-50 jump ball. Did it cost? Absolutely. Did it hurt? Absolutely. Were we pissed off? Absolutely. But we're not turning the page on Ahkello. We're not looking at him and starting to second guess him. Nah, not at all, man. This is one of those ones, though, that he's going to see Amari Cooper a good amount of times, because we know we don't flip-flop our corners, and Amari Cooper will line up on both sides, but he predominantly likes to line up on that right side. So we're going to see what that looks like, man, at times. And I do think Ahkello can match him, but I think he has to be fundamentally sound. He can't take plays off. He can't mentally have lapses. And as long as he doesn't do those things, which I don't expect him to do anyways, I think that we will be just fine. I think that he will be able to match up with Amari and not necessarily shut down Amari, because you don't shut down Amari Cooper. Amari Cooper's a really good receiver, and he's been doing this for a while. But you can keep the cap on this thing. You can keep him out the end zone, number one, and ultimately keep him from having those explosive type of run after catch plays and things like that. That's what I'm looking for Ahkello to ultimately stand up and be very, very consistent. And ultimately, man, just keep the dogs off of us, because yeah, if you're Cleveland, you're going to test this matchup. You're going to test to see if Ahkello can defend the jump ball. They're going to put some opportunities out there for him. Ahkello, do what you've been doing. You know what you do. You know how to do it. Don't overthink this thing, man. And now, it's time for the grand finale. The fifth and final matchup in today's 5-star matchups. Smith Trubisky / Matt Canada, because we don't know who's at fault and who's not, but Mitch Trubisky / Matt Canada versus this Browns secondary. Now, on paper, this Browns secondary is really good. On paper, this Browns secondary has youth, it has talent, it has pedigree, and it has productivity. But when you watch the tape, man, these first couple of games, they've been struggling, man. The communication on the back end has not been what it needed to be, and ultimately that was why a big reason as to why they lost against the Jets, man, giving up a big-time touchdown at the end of the game just solely on miscommunication between the corner and safety. That continues to pop up on their tape, and I don't think it's going to just go away on a short week. So when you're talking about Mitch Trubisky, well, first off with him, man, some of the things that you've been doing that we like, when you've been throwing the ball downfield, it hasn't been often, but when you have done it, you've been really good at it. I need more of that. When you talk about the things that he struggled with, being patient, taking chances with the ball, I need you to improve upon that this week. Why? Because this is a matchup that you should be able to take advantage of. This Brown secondary, like I said, they're going to have miscommunications popping up. That's when you have to be ready to strike. That's when you have to be ready to attack this thing and push the ball down the field. Whether that's you, Mr. Trubisky, or if that's Matt Canada calling some of these calls. Collectively, both of them got to be better. Thursday night game, we got to have it, man, because this is an opportunity for us, man. We can hit a couple of shots on this team, man. You talk about Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco threw for, 300 yards and 4 touchdowns against this Brown secondary. Let's take that into context, okay? I don't think that Joe Flacco at whatever age he's at whatever stage of his career he's at, we're over here like, yo, Joe Flacco's that guy. So, with that being said, man, we watching the same tape that he was watching, that the team before them were watching, that the team after us going to watch. This got to be one of those ones where we take advantage of it. Thursday Night Football, man. Strike them and strike them hard and fast, man. So, with that being said, Mr. Trubisky, Matt Canada, we got to have this, baby. We got to have this. But, with that being said, man, those are my 5-star matchups for Thursday night's game. Let me know your thoughts on it. I appreciate you as always. Make sure you like this video. Subscribe if you have not subscribed. And more importantly, hit that notification bell. But either way, I appreciate the heck out of you. And until next time, baby. Peace.